Greetings fellow people of YouTube, this is the slave Demons99 and I return with another commentary. Today's target is going to be on Square-Eyed Jack's video about the new Crash Bandicoot remake trilogy which is going to be released next year. Now as you may know me, I hate Square-Eyed Jack with a burning passion. I think you can obviously tell by that by the one-shot I made on him. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin the video.
Myself that the game won't feel like a Crash game, so I don't know if it's because I'm low on sleep or anything, but purely based off this trailer, it doesn't look like a Crash game.
Doesn't it feel like a Crash game, you say? Okay then, take a look at this screenshot. I see Crash Bandicoot running forward into the level, smashing boxes and jumping over bottomless pits. That sounds like a Crash game to me. I honestly don't know why would you say it doesn't feel like Crash. Or maybe it's because you're too stupid enough to not know what makes a Crash game a Crash game.
So strap in, it's time for Sourpuss to make a video on the whole thing. I'll start off by saying that initially I wasn't a fan of the graphics as they're not realistic and they're also not that cartoonish either.
This game sucks because the graphics are not cartoony enough. Where? Okay, in all seriousness however, did you really thought it was necessary to bitch about the graphics? Because judging from the trailer, the graphics look just like the PS1 classics but have been given a massive upgrade thanks to the PS4's hardware. I'm starting to question your nitpicky attitude.
Feel like a Skylanders game. Looking at the cutscenes, art style, the sound effects used, and character animations, which is one thing I was worried about. Crash's running animation looks like it does in Skylanders, and while I haven't played it, I just hope that this trilogy plays like a Crash game.
If you're saying you haven't played Skylanders, then why did you say that Crash's running animation in the trailer looks like his running animation in Skylanders? Oh wait a second, this is Square-Eyed Jack we're talking about, he can't explain this shit.
First drowsy opinion, this doesn't look tight and responsive, it looks rather floaty honestly.
How would you know that Crash doesn't control well in this game? It's just a trailer. The game hasn't even been released yet and no one has even played the game yet.
On with the Skylanders thing, the characters look like they're from that series too, which again, isn't a bad thing at all. So, while I wasn't impressed at first, the game does look very nice.
Wait a minute, you said earlier in the video that you stated that the game didn't look good and now you're saying it looks very nice? The hypocrisy and irony is strong with this one.
Or the Thump and Wumpa Islands trailer. Wow, that looks really fucking cool. But it's not Crash.
Actually, the gameplay looks more like Crash of the Titans the Mind of a Mutant than anything else. If you're saying that the Skylanders Crash game is not like the classic platforming Crash games, then I can understand where you're coming from.
That's what's had me worried this entire time. When you look at and play Crash, you can feel it and nothing else emulates it.
This is exactly what Vicarious Visions are giving you. A classic Crash Bandicoot platformer. Something that you Crash fans have been begging for the past 12 years. And when they finally give you what you want, you still bitch and moan about it. Jesus Christ, just be grateful that Vicarious Visions finally listened to you.
Remake doesn't play like Crash, it will almost certainly die a death, and a few years from now, it could go on the pile next to games like Wrath of Cortex. The fans of the originals will say it's bad, while the newer generation that are playing it for the first time will really enjoy it and look back on it with fond memories.
Again, how would you know? The game hasn't been released yet. Nobody knows if it's going to be good or bad. Oh, and one more thing. That was a very unfair comparison that you made there, comparing a game that hasn't been released yet to one that has. And I'll end off the video there because I honestly have nothing more to say. Final verdict. Square-Eyed Jack, this video sucked. You made an unfair comparison to two games, you constantly complained like a fanboy by saying that it's not a Crash game, and you didn't explain why this game is like Skylanders. Anyways, this is for Slave Demons99 and Square-Eyed Jack, get good.